To begin with, the whole of Bhutan was rural. And there was very little distinction between urban and rural. Now the difference between the two is still very, very thin. The line is very thin between the two.
Bhutan is a Buddhist kingdom in the Himalayan mountains. Through its long history, mountain borders have kept it isolated from the outside. To its north is China, and to its south is India. There are more than 700,000 Bhutanese, mostly farmers living in remote villages.
Much of my young years I spent in the village. At that time, there were no sweets and lollipops. There were no toys. And we grew up a life of simplicity and almost medieval period. But recently, the urban population is growing at a very fast pace. In fact, we have one feet on the urban and 1 feet in the rural, most of us.
Generally, most people are disconcerted, very concerned about the changes taking place. I mean, can we manage now? Because so far we've had a stable system, and this is seen going back to the beginning of monarchy, because the country was unified under one ruler, and it's been we've enjoyed relative peace, stability, progress. Now suddenly we are uprooting the whole thing.
Housing was never really an issue. Now we have to talk about housing and urbanization as an issue which has to be tackled. Jobs were never an issue. Now we have to talk about creating jobs for people who are coming out of the education system.
Bhutan is changing, and lifestyles are in flux. Over the last 30 years, the king has set the country on a path of development and democratic reform. Until recently, it has been a cautious opening. But in 1999, satellite television and the internet brought the world to Bhutan's doorstep.
3-4 years ago, we were much more rural in our thinking. At the deeper level, I would say the value system. The young people are of the impression now that living on a farm means hard work. You go to the city means fun.
School judo chimna jo dress this change up then now the pool now so interest on the other now and game see with
From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., national dress is mandatory for everyone in Bhutan. But in after-hours clubs, the first generation of Bhutanese raised on television and rock and roll trade in tradition for the West's latest fashions.
TV cable in the channel B and dress up this Western dress up this interest and very big one. Television megachin kido zume no mara gatma so chin television yada machi fa kolata ite tenen na same show them so then ane boda parents do kigyam ta ngara bi an western dress na sa anjum na sa to chundi da airport journey try chi betani
Bhutan's struggle is to maintain its traditions and the well-being of its people against the encroaching tide of globalization. The country's policy of development, known as gross national happiness, provides free health care and education for all. One of its foundations is their Buddhist beliefs and the idea of the middle path.
One of the most important tenets of Buddhist philosophy is compassion for all sentient beings. We follow the middle path. And one of the philosophies behind the gross national happiness is influenced by this middle path. We don't want to go into a situation where we want to be a consumer society, and we want to use this approach so that our children could learn about it.